Hi, my name is Luis Espinoza, and this is my individual professional development project. And so the point of this project is for me to basically advance my learnings when it comes to coaching. So I'm going to become a physical education coach for high school, and preferably 12th graders. I want to then from there move on to college levels, after I progress and gain more experience. And so this project is mainly me trying to get more knowledge when it comes to coaching. As of right now, I am a student in UNLV on my third year, but I feel like school does not teach you everything about coaching, right? So sometimes you need like outside sources. And as for one source in this video that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use a coach. I'm gonna interview another coach that I work with, and he has built something where he connected all these schools together that did not have sports, and he connected them all and made them do little leagues and such things like that. I don't want to give you too much details because I kind of want him to explain that side. And but so basically, yes, the point of this project is for me to get more behind the scenes of coaching through this interview. And then so I'm gonna learn a lot in this interview, of course, and I hope you guys obtain everything as well, and learn from it if you want to be a coach as well, or if you just want to partner up with your daughter, son, and help out as well. Just little tips that you could use with your youngins. So let's go on to the interview.
I don't know how I want to do it, but I want to like, how I say it, like, pursue something as well, something like, such as what you're doing. But
Definitely.
I have a couple questions here. So I heard a really good story about how you guys started the Graded Youth Sports Association with a middle school kid, right? So I think that's a really good story, and I would like everybody to hear that. So you could share that.
You said the story about a middle school kid, or
was it a middle school kid? How it started? It was a bad kid that was.
Oh no, it's elementary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
How this all started?
Yeah. So it was because I was a PE teacher at an elementary school. It was actually my first year teaching there, and man, it was within the first 2 months. So just being an elementary PE teacher, right? So a lot of people, like all the kids, you're like the god on the campus, right? Like everyone loves PE in elementary, right? Everyone wants to go to PE. The PE coach is like the best class on the thing. Like people are always super excited. So at the time, I was always getting a lot of the behavior students sent to me, and they would be like, if you're not, if you don't start straightening it up, I'm gonna send you to coach. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be the one that kind of like straightened them out. So I was getting a lot of students that were just getting sent to me that needed to be straightened up. So one student in particular, he kept getting sent to me like on a regular basis, and then I like to eat my lunch in the front office. So I would always go to the front office to kind of just hang out and stuff, socialize. And he was always there because he had gotten in trouble. So I was like, and this was like every single day for like, it happened for like 3 weeks or something like that. And I got like kind of like just fed up, like, dude, why are you always in trouble? One day I asked him, like, why are you always in trouble? Like, what are you doing? And then he was like really fed up that day, and he's like, I just hate school. I don't want to be here. I'm tired of being here. And he was crying and just like shaking and stuff because he was really upset. And I said, well, what can we do to kind of help you out with staying on track, because obviously you're not getting what you want by having all these behavior problems. So what can we do? And long story short, I knew sports meant a huge thing to me in my life. Like that's what kept me on track with school, motivated me to go to school, kept me engaged. So I was like, okay, well, what if I threw you a soccer clinic? And he was like, okay, I'd go to that soccer clinic. I was like, you can only go if you don't get in trouble for 1 week. And a week passed, and he didn't get in trouble, and that's literally how we started. So it just started from one kid that I was like, man, what can I do to kind of keep him motivated to just want to be in school and not get in trouble, and that's what happened.
Yeah, in school I read a lot of books, right? And I have heard that just joining a simple sport could, change the mentality of a kid, keeps them out of trouble in so many ways, and teaches them many things, socialization and just so many, things that people did not know, did not realize. Just simply putting your kid in a sport could really improve their life.
Exactly.
So you said that you were a PE teacher from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's how you met the kid. So like, okay, I found a cool question online when I wanted to pursue my career. So they said the question was, do you want to be a coach because you like sports yourself, like you like playing it, or because you want to teach the kids the sports? Because that's two different sides, you know. So like, what drove you to, you know, for your passion being a PE coach slash, you know?
So the answer is I kind of go back. So like my background, I've been coaching since I was 18. So I've been coaching since I was 18, and originally I would say it was like, because when I went to college, I was done playing sports. Like I was done playing basketball and all that kind of stuff. I was really just burnt out. So then I got into coaching because I kind of missed the being around the game and everything. And then I found my love for coaching, you know, and actually being a teacher and things like that. So obviously with what we do so many different sports, and it's not like I grew up playing soccer or I played a little bit of football, but it wasn't my predominant sport. So I think it kind of fell into like I love just the coaching aspect of helping a child grow from like, you know, starting them off with the kids we see where a lot of them can't even catch, to all the way, you know, now they're catching football, game winning passes and things like that. So I would say I've grown into liking the aspect of teaching and developing a child. But at first it started from just trying to get, you know, back to the game.
Yeah, you just wanted to be in the environment. You love that environment.
Yeah.
I think that's what was driving me too. You know, like when I was in high school, I literally ditched my regular classes, you know, just to go to PE. I used to go to PE like 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
The teacher was like, you know, the PE teacher was like, hey man, you're always here. Go to your class.
Go to your class.
Over there. And but then, you know, now when school ended, I graduated. That's like, you know, my biggest memories. You know, is this PE class. Now I said, hey, how cool would it be if like I kind of lived there? Not live there, but like that's like half of my life. What if I worked there?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I said I could be around those kids all the time, play sports, do you know what I love.
Yeah.
You know, and I can get paid for it.
Exactly.
You know, that's what's driving me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But so you started coaching at 18 years old, and like that's amazing. That's pretty interesting there.
Yeah.
Because 18 is a young age, you know, to be telling others. And how did you get, you know, your experience in coaching? Like, did you just one day just go out there and coach your little brothers and sisters, or was it like a straight on job? Like, did you just go sign up for a job or something?
Well, I had always been doing like mentor slash leadership things since I was like in like 8th grade. You know, I would always be in different clubs and things like that, and just helping out. Like, no matter what we were doing, like one thing I was like, I went to a school called Union High School, and I was like a mentor for the freshmen. So like when I was a senior, I was a mentor for the freshmen. So I would help them out with classes. If they had any questions like about anything, we have like a full college, like not college, but the full high school experience day where we take them around and show them everything. So that was like literally senior year, and I've already been kind of in that mentorship thing. So kind of looking back, like I've always just enjoyed helping people out, you know, no matter how old you are. And then when college came, I was just looking for a way to kind of get back. So a job opening happened in the college town that I was in for like a 6th grade, like assistant basketball coach. And it was a volunteer. And I was like, let's do it. And then, so I signed up for that. And I was like literally 18, and I had like 6th graders every morning. No, it was about 3 days a week that I was there in the mornings from like 1 hour before they went to school, and we were doing an intramural like skills drills and stuff. So that was like, once that happened, I was like, man, this is dope. And then I got a job offer to coach like a JV team. And then I got another job offer to coach the varsity team for the 7th grade girls. So like it kind of just started rolling after that, like after that volunteer stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, good. So like being a coach, obviously you learn something new mainly every season, I imagine. But what are like some good strategies or skills that you always have in the back of your mind? You know, what like basically what makes a good coach a good coach?
I would say how well you study. So from day one, I'd always been, I can't say day one, but I've always been someone like, man, what you've been taught and all your experiences leading up to like today, you know what I'm saying? Unless you've actually, been around good and great coaches, you never know the actual effect that you're gonna have on the people that you're coaching. So when I was like in college and everything, this is what was super important that I started doing. I started reading books on like all my favorite coaches. So Phil Jackson, I read all of his books. 12 Rings, all of his books. Then I read Coach K's books. Like any coaching book from like a basketball coach, I probably read it. And it was those experiences mixed with what I was actually doing. That's how I developed my different coaching philosophies, right? Because a lot of the times, like when I first started coaching, I remember, man, like I was the one jumping up, screaming up and down, like, come on, dude. Like I was always just in their face. Like it was crazy, but that's what you see. Because and if you think about it, you're doing that because of what you were taught when you were, but not like you were coaching when you were younger, but you're just doing, it's just a mirror reflection of how you were coached. And that might not necessarily be the best way to actually coach somebody. Different people are coached different ways, and as a coach, you gotta be able to study these different things because everyone learns a different way. It's just like teaching. That's why I went to school for a master's in teaching, because I was like, man, I love coaching, but I can't be a great coach if I'm not the best teacher. Sports is just a way to just learn, about the skill development side, and about just larger than life meanings. But if you're not actually a student to the game and actually a student to being the best coach, then you can't really display that. So at a very young age, like it was that first year, I started diving in deep to actually like learning the best techniques and figuring out like, okay, this works really well with how I like to coach in the first place,
No, I definitely agree because I study a lot of psychology, and I'm noticing that a lot of teachers or coaches, or some of them, like we are not doing it right. Basic, not saying they're not doing the job right, but there's certain things within their job, like the way they scream at the kids. Like that's not gonna make a kid perform better. You're gonna make him perform worse now.
Yeah.
You build his self-esteem down.
Exactly.
So I was learning like so many things. I was like, man, I think that a lot of people got it backwards.
Yeah.
When it comes to some things.
Yeah. And it's just, you just don't know. Like people think like, oh, let me get into coaching, and then all of a sudden, they're responsible for not only like people think it's just like I have a great team and they need to be great as far as like wins and losses, but it's like, man. And that's why I like GYSA and how we built our full program, is because we eliminate that. Like everything is development focused for all kids up to like really high school. That should be the entire focus. Your wins and losses should not matter at all. The only thing that matters is, did I get better today? If I won the game, did I get better today? If I lost the game, did I get better today? And then you make a list, okay, what do I need to improve on? And now you switch the focus from like, the wins and losses to actually getting better. And that's like the real life meaning behind sports. It's like, did I get better today?
Yeah. So I know we're running a little short on time. I have like 3 more questions. Hopefully we can just knock them out really quick.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hold you on too much either. So let's see. So what is like something about coaching that most people don't know? And like I'm kind of asking, like if you see a movie, they probably think coaching is just kind of saying, hey, go make some drills happen, throw the ball. Or a PE teacher just takes attendance and says, go play basketball. But in reality, that's how most people see us, and like that's the lazy fat man's job. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what is like something about coaching, that most people don't know?
Okay, so a good one, I would say, let's see here. There's so many that we could go for. I would say most people don't know that from the moment a child actually comes, let's say your practice is at 2:30, right? That whole day, the kid is so excited to come to your practice. all right? And not every kid is going to learn a certain way. So there's a thing that I studied a lot in college was called like motivational climates, right? As a coach, you have the power to actually create a climate and an environment that develops mastery-oriented children. All right, and we're gonna get deep into the science and stuff behind it because most people don't know this. And when I learned it, it changed everything. A mastery, and this is how I got teams that literally had never picked up balls before and made them undefeated when we actually played games against better teams, right? Like the first 4 teams that I had, they were undefeated. I was on a 4-year winning streak, and then we lost one game at the end of the season, and my best player was gone. But this is how I got these teams to be so good. It was the motivational climate. I figured this out. So whenever a student comes to your practice, there's certain things that you need to do every single day that facilitates a mastery climate, such as you take the emphasis away from winning. When you're doing drills, you do drills and you make them focus on their own self and like their own scores. So you turn it away from like the individual. No, you turn it away from the individual trying to win the game into the individual trying to beat their own score, right? That's another huge strategy right there, like with your individual drills, right? And there's all these little tactics that you're doing every single day that's changing their own mindset. And when they come into your environment, now you have a task-oriented environment, and that actually produces more winning than you actually going in and be like, no, we got to hit this in this amount of time. We got to hit this, and you got to hit this number of scores or made baskets, right? So that actually changes the whole environment. You're able to get the result that you want without having to, with just becoming more educated about, okay, is this a motivational, a task-oriented environment, or am I focusing too much on winning and losing? You know what I'm saying? So that was huge. That's something a lot of people don't really know about. But it can definitely mean the full difference for any of your teams.
No, that's a really good answer. I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind and use that myself.
Yeah, look it up. It's huge, man. It's huge.
So you went to college, obviously, to for your career. And what are like some things that college did not teach you that you're only experiencing in the real world?
I have a lot, but I would say in regards to what I'm doing with GYSA, I would say just the business side of it all. So like, I mean, I didn't go to college to be like, hey, I'm going to form Greater Youth Sports and I'm going to run a nonprofit and it's going to be great. Like, I didn't go to college, and that never crossed my mind at all. Like, I wanted to go to college and just be a college coach. So like my whole track I was on track to be a college basketball coach. That's what I wanted to do. So I did everything was around just being a better college basketball coach. I would say one thing that they did not teach you is like, okay, about first of all the business side of everything, on how to run like actual business. I had to learn that just on the fly. I had to switch everything from coaching to actually learning how to run a business, and that took a lot because that wasn't something I had ever even done. So I would say that was one thing. And then just specific to college, I would say there should be a track for people that want to be like college coaches and like, hey, these are the different things you're going to need. I guess you can do like a sport management thing or something, but there's still not a track to if you want to be a college coach. I had to kind of figure that stuff out on my own as well.
Okay, good. And then, so I have another question here. What's like the worst problem or biggest situation you have ever encountered, and then like how did you handle it?
Let's see here.
This could be like, I don't know, maybe an injury, or maybe a parent getting violent, or...
Man, I've had a lot, but let's see if I can choose one. I would say this year. So this year's been tough on everybody, and this is, I would say, the most recent. So back in March, we had soccer season about to start, right? They just had tryouts and everything like that with all the teams. Then COVID happens, everything gets canceled. So making the pivot to what we're doing now with the virtual program, and actually just being relentless with it, and being like, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna stick to, and making that decision. Like, now we can see like this was the best decision we could have made. But just being able to pivot, and like I would say, and in tough situations, and just staying true to what you believe, and staying true to where your heart is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always do everything with my heart first, and then I do everything else, right? So I would say, no matter what happens, just always lead with your heart, and just stay true to your decision with anything.
Okay, and then I got one last question. So this, I already know the answer because we worked one season together.
Mm-hmm.
But my class wanted to ask, how do you handle the parents? You know, like when it comes. So I've kind of seen how you build your own policies. Like, you know, they stay on this side of the field.
Yeah.
They got, you know, certain regulations have to follow. But I kind of want you to describe that. My classmates wanted to have that question
for the class. Shout out to Leo. Yeah. Man, so I'll say, so by the time when you came, Luis, as a coach, it was like we had gotten a lot better. I can't even sit here in front like we just had to figure it out. It was trial and error, you know, and a lot of it was me being there and experiencing different things, and just being like, man, like what, it just, every season we just implemented something else. We just added. So that's one thing with dealing with it, was like, okay, so just doing it. So like when we first started, I was the one that was just there all the time. I was always the one confronting all the parents, you know, doing all that. But then I have no problem doing that, because I'm like, dude, this is my baby, and you're not going to sit here and jeopardize, you know, 100+ students, and now, I mean, thousands of students, all because of your actions that you can't control your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do one thing, and now the whole program is shut down because of your own selfish desires, and you got to think about that, right? So a lot of it was just going through different things. But I would say the biggest thing now is it goes back to the coaching, man. It's like we were all taught different things on how to act just from being kids and what we saw. And that goes to actually spectators and parents, because they're only reacting from what they saw before. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to a basketball game, it doesn't matter who you are. You go to a basketball game and you see people screaming, "Boo, ref, you know," but it's like, that's just the environment that we're used to seeing. So it's not like they're actually thinking about like, oh, I'm at a little kid's basketball game, a third grade basketball game, so I probably shouldn't be doing. They're not thinking that. They're only reacting from how they actually experienced games before. So keeping that in mind, we developed everything with that in mind. Like, okay, it's not their fault, it's our fault. And when we started doing that, and that's when we started implementing all these different things. We have some new things coming in as well, of just trying to create that positive environment. Like, when you come, like the same thing I said with the environment, a coach can create an environment. We as a program can create an environment of anyone that comes into that environment, everyone knows the rules. You know what I'm saying? Anyone comes into our community, everybody knows the rules. So that's the biggest thing that we're doing now, is creating that environment, and creating that culture. So for all you guys that are in the class, it doesn't matter if you have a class, it doesn't matter if you have a team, it doesn't matter if you're running a program that's impacting thousands, right? Your culture is something that you can create. You know what I'm saying? So we did a lot of steps, and actually the change happens when we started saying like, look, this is our fault. You know what I'm saying? If someone comes into our culture, our environment, and they're acting any kind of way, it's our fault because we didn't set the expectations down. You know what I'm saying? You can't go into let's say you're hanging around some soccer players, and their environment is all, you know, they're a championship team. You can't go into that environment with losing expectations, right? It'll look different. It'll feel different. It'll feel off. You know what I'm saying? You can't be waking up, going to practice late. Sorry, guys. You know, they're going to be looking at you like, bro, that's not how we do here. You know what I'm saying? So that's all culture, and that's all just expectations that you set beforehand. So that was like that. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You just got to set the expectations for that culture beforehand.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I like that answer. And then lastly, if you want, maybe if there's something that I did not cover or we did not cover together in this interview that you may think that's important for people to know, is there anything specific you want to mention?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always about finding your passion and going hard with it. Like, I don't like to play when it comes to your passion. You know what I'm saying? And you guys shouldn't either. So no matter what it is you want to do, just always follow your heart. Like I said before, follow your heart, because your heart's going to lead you to where you need to go, and have the awareness to actually be like, man, I need to go full on with this thing. Because like I said, I didn't envision myself starting this. It kind of my heart led me to it, and then I was like, I got to finish this and see it to the end. And now this is how where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So always follow your heart, follow your passion, and you guys will make it happen. It's going to be hard no matter what you do, but at least you'll wake up feeling good, because you're like, man, I feel alive. You know what I'm saying? So always follow your guys' passion on whatever it is.
Yeah. And then just to add to that, also like push those people aside that have negative energy like that. Don't believe in your passion, because like I know, since I'm gonna be a PE teacher, a lot of people, like my own parents, they tell me they don't make a lot of money. Why did you choose that? And I was just like, man, that's what I want to do, because like my own job I have right now, I have a full-time job, and they told me like, hey, leave school and I'll pay you more money here than you'll ever make at school. I said no. I said I don't like it here, man. I want to be where I'm happy. I'll make less money, but I'll be way happier.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I also just want to ask that, push that negative energy away and follow your heart, do what you want to do, not what they want you to do.
Exactly, because you got one life to live, man. It's up to you. And honestly, I went to PE because I was like, summer's off, let's go. I was like, I get the summer off, let's get it, And then it all kind of worked out. And it really doesn't matter what you do, man. You can be happy making $50,000 a year. You can be happy making millions a year. As long as you're happy with what you're doing, and really chasing your dreams, then that's all that really matters, man. That's it.
And then lastly, before we get out of here, I just wanted to tell you about something that I want to do. I want to make a change in the school.
Yeah.
So it sounds risky. I'm sure it was attempted before, but obviously we like sports. We think that a healthy body is extremely important. And schools, we're putting less emphasis in, PE, weight training, and stuff like that. And then when we feed our kids pizza daily, like school lunches are nothing but pizza, sugary chocolate milks, sugary sodas. I don't know what the heck they give nowadays, but when I remember there was nothing but like chicken sandwiches, full of grease and pizza.
Yeah.
Your plate was wet.
Yeah.
How much oils it had. And that's just like, so I want to make a change in that. I don't know how first, nowadays social media is so big. Maybe you spread the word. I don't know, maybe talk to the principal or the school board, or maybe food banks. I know there's a lot of food banks that donate food to schools. They focus on healthy meals. I don't know if like I could somehow just bring alertness to that one day. Maybe the school I work at somehow find donation sponsors, somehow just change the menu somehow.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to push.
So there's a lot of programs. Dairy Council has one. CCSD Food Service did implement, I don't know if they did it school-wide, but they did push for like healthier lunches. So now the kids are getting like fruits and things like that. But you got to also think on a grand scale, it's like they got a lot of schools, and it's hard. So I would say, I don't know, it's not like I run it, but I would say it's probably difficult to try to get it all great, because as a society, we're a society that gets the extra large everything, the sugar and everything, right? That's just where we are as a society. You know what I'm saying? Forget like just the school level, like as a society, everybody is like on that. And I think it is changing a little bit. But I would definitely reach out, because if you're trying to implement at the school level, I would reach out to like people like Grain Our Planet. I would reach out to Serving Our Kids Foundation. They're a food bank. And then I would reach out to the Dairy Council is another one. Just reach out to those different organizations and bring your ideas to them. Because one thing I learned was like, man, there's a lot of people that have that same philosophy, and some of them are backed by a lot of funding. They need young minds, they need young people that really get it to really just go in there and just make it their own. You know what I'm saying? So I would reach out to them and see what you can do with that. That's great though, man.
Yeah.
I'm right with you. Right with
Yeah,
you.
because there's no point of doing healthy activities if you're gonna eat unhealthy. You gotta do both.
Yeah.
And obesity is growing. Like I looked at statistics a few weeks ago on obesity. Every year is basically going up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw 1 in 3 people
Yeah.
are obese or considered obese.
It's 40% of adults. 40% of all adults are obese. It's crazy.
If you look 15 years ago, they were lower. So I was just wondering, like, we're getting worse and worse. And, like, if anything, we should be, getting stronger, every year. Every generation should be better than the last one.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised, and I was like, no, there needs to be a change,
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I could influence some people. When it comes to that, once I, get up there.
You will, man.
When I have a voice, I'll hopefully use my voice one day. So.
Yeah, you will, bro. Definitely. It's because our thing is like focusing on the physical activity. It's like, man, if we can at least get kids at a young age, loving to be active, loving to eat right, then that can carry them on. You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said, just go back. I think the society just is in a certain place of like, man, eat these foods. This is the lifestyle you need to live. It's okay not to do this. It's okay not to do. It's like that is having a huge effect, but it can change because healthy kids become healthy adults. You know what I'm saying? The kids that are active as kids, they are more likely to become healthy. Well, stay healthy as adults. But kids that are inactive and live in sedentary lifestyles as kids, they're more likely to do that as adults. It's harder to make that change. So I think you're on your way, man. You're on your way because you're going to be working with the kids and you're going to be putting it in their heads like, look, this is what we need to do. So stay true to it, man, and you'll be great. You'll be good.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to thank you once again for joining me in this interview. It was really fun, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's always, nice catching up.
Definitely.
And also keeping connections with people, relations with people. I think that's a really good source too.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for everything as well. Aside from this interview, keeping in touch, following up with me year to year, and just trying to maybe build new relationships later.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Like I said, bro, you need anything, just let me know. I love talking to you, man. I appreciate you. We still talk about you over at Lake Elementary. So shout out to you, bro. And good luck. Keep going at it.
Okay. So thanks again.
So that was my interview with Coach Woodson. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. And I'll see you guys on the next video.